And welcome back to WCCF Tech TV, everyone. This is Keith once again, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the MSI X370 XPower Titanium, as well as the experience so far with the Ryzen 7 1800X. Now, if you've been following either the channel or the site or our Facebook or my personal Twitter, you'll know we didn't get our Ryzen kit in until actually launch day due to some shipping errors or what have you, but that's neither here nor there. But initially, we had quite a few problems with the motherboard and the chip even working right off the bat, so that's one of the reasons you haven't seen a full review from us. We did do a comparison right off, day one, if you had an FX 8350 and you moved to Ryzen, what you could expect as far as performance in CPU scenarios as well as gaming. Now, the focus here is the motherboard, because I was really hoping to get a review of the motherboard because it's one of the highest end X370 boards you can get right now, and it's the top dog CPU. So that's where things got interesting. On our first boot, I don't even really know what EFI version it was running because it didn't stay on there but for 5 minutes. The fact is, it simply wouldn't boot it anything using DDR4 faster than 2133. Like, that was it. 2400, no boot, no go, nothing, no matter what we did. And it basically wouldn't turbo at all. Like, it would stay at its base frequency of 3.6. Now, we did go to the MSI website and we got revision 1.1 of the EFI. Now, that's where things started to get a bit better, and that's the one we used for that video and the article. So, if again, you can go see those results over there. But what I wanted to point out with that was we were now able to get the memory up to 2667, but it was a bit flaky, so 2400 is where we ended up staying, and we didn't get any ability to change SMT, whether we could disable it or enable it or even auto. There was no option for SMT in the BIOS. And we also were noticing that we weren't getting any XFR boost. So when under any load, even a single core load, everything was going to 3.7 gigahertz. So all of the results in that video and article were at 3.7 gigahertz. Now, I reached out to MSI yesterday and asked them about if they were working on anything, and they sent us over, I guess you would call it an alpha because it's not even beta yet. It's revision 1.22. Now, this is where things started getting a lot better. I actually was able to boot into using an XMP profile at DDR4 3000. So the kit of RAM that they sent with us was actually running at its rated clock speed as well as timings, which that was great. And that revision also added in SMT control. So we were able to finally, on our own end, start disabling SMT to see if there was a performance advantage for doing that. I'm not really partial to disabling things like that, but I've actually done it in the past with the 7700K for personal experimenting, as well as my 6800K, and even in the past with Intel processors. So it's nice to be able to do that. And XFR is sort of functional when running single-threaded benchmarks. We're able to see that single core go up to 4.1 at times. It's not going there and staying or even staying close. It's still dropping back down to 3.7, but it is boosting up to 4.1. So we're seeing that. So that, what I want to get at is there's an improvement being made in the EFIs, and that's seems to affect the performance quite a bit. On to just some numbers that we ran. We're seeing Dirt Rally, by disabling SMT, it got the 0.1% FPS went from 78 to 91, and that's not an insignificant workload. The other big issue that we're still seeing is the temperature monitor seems to be a bit loopy still, in the sense that even with an Noctua NHD 15, we're seeing idles around 60C, and it goes into the 70s under load. Now, I changed out the cooler for the smaller 121 that they sent, the Noctua cooler, and still the temperatures were the same. Even swapped it out for a Corsair H100i, and still the same temp. So I'm going to say, hopefully, that there's an issue with the motherboard reading temperatures, and just out of curiosity, I did overclock it to 4 gigahertz, and the temperature stayed about the same. So it didn't seem to change anything. But the one that we got seems to be a relatively good overclocker. Like I said, we were able to get to 4 gigahertz across all cores at 1.325 volts, which is quite low compared to what I'm seeing other people get. And because of that voltage, our power draw hasn't gone up very much. So that's good to see. We'll have those results more once this BIOS seems to get kind of straightened out. Now, LLC, there's no load line calibration option, but it seems to auto LLC, and it stays fairly close to where we set it, so that's a good thing. Now, once these things are kind of sorted out, we're going to go back and we're going to take the numbers that we got on launch day and we're going to compare them to once some updates are done. Now, we're not talking 2-3 years. We're talking, I'm going to give it a couple weeks to see kind of where things fall out. So I just didn't feel like it was quite ready. The motherboard was ready for a review. The CPU, there's still performance left on the table. Just to give you an idea, just from the changing the EFI, we went from like 151 single core CB to 158, and that's repeatable, and that's a measurable marked difference, especially on the single core performance. Multi-core didn't change a whole lot, so because it was already going up there in the boost, but that's kind of where we are. I just wanted to give you guys an update because the motherboard is great-ish. It's like a really nice car, but you got the engine's knocking. You really want to like it, but it's not quite there yet, so we're gonna pretend like we're taking this into the shop until some things get sorted out before we bring you final numbers. But I just wanted to take a minute today and show you guys, or rather tell you guys, kind of where we are with this and why we haven't put out a full review. And it has nothing to do with the drama surrounding it, because Lord knows there's plenty of that. This is just where we stand with our review and just letting you guys know where we are on it. So if you found the video at least informative, sorry that you don't get to stare at me the whole time. I figured you'd much rather look at the motherboard. But this has been it with Keith with WCCF Tech TV, and we'll catch you guys in the next video, and hopefully we'll have some more information and stuff for you. So take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.